Hey there, I'm Zach from dreamoфenglish.com, the place for English video lessons, other types of English resources, and obviously online English classes. Today I just want to give you 5 ways to speak better English. So these are 5 tips, 5 strategies to improve your speaking skills. So, number 1, and this is very important, and I hear this a lot. My students tell me, I don't want to make a mistake. I want to speak perfect English. Don't worry about that. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. English is a weird language. Okay, you must have seen it. I am teaching it, and I am aware that there are verbs such as read, which is pronounced read in the present, read in the past, yet spelt the same. There are a lot of irregularities, there are a lot of exceptions in English. So you are going to make mistakes. In fact, a lot of natives make mistakes. That I'm a little bit sick of. But for you, remember, you are speaking English as a second language. You are not expected to speak it perfectly. And therefore, don't be scared to make a mistake. Once you get over this fear, you'll notice that you'll be speaking more fluently, and with time, those mistakes will become fewer and fewer. So don't worry about it for now. The important thing is to speak. And number 2 is to avoid learning word by word. This is another big mistake here. Okay, so you probably learn or memorize all the verbs, but then you can't use them. You try to speak and you forget. That is not how we learn. We learn through context. So if you get new vocabulary, if you are learning the verbs, always put them into context. Okay, create a sentence with that verb. Which gets me onto the next point, which is avoid translating as well when you are speaking. Because if you are trying to think word by word, translate into your native language, then not only is your speaking going to be less fluent, but also you're going to be making mistakes. English is different to your native language. And as I said before, it's a weird language. So there's something called chunk-based learning, where you learn through chunks. I'll give you an example. What did you watch when you were a kid? Okay, here is quite a long question, but there are 2 easy chunks. Okay, what did you watch? Simple. I watched The Simpsons. Chunk 1. When you were a kid is the second chunk. Very easy. When I was a kid. We have 2 chunks put together. I watched The Simpsons when I was a kid. Simple. Okay, so avoid learning word by word, avoid translating, and speak in chunks. Okay, number 3, listen. Okay, I know I'm talking about speaking, but listening is just as important. Listen to other people speak English. Exposure. Watch series, films, listen to music. Do all of this in English, and this will actually help your speaking, because you are going to hear how others are speaking, and you're going to be able to replicate it. As well, listen carefully to the person you are talking to. Okay, because I always say that the answer is in the question. For example, if I were to ask you, where would you like to live in the future? Okay, most of the words that you need to use are already in the question. We are using would, so you should use would when you answer. We have the verb, and it's simple. I would like to live in, in Japan in the future. Okay, maybe the question is, how do you go to work every day? Okay, so again, we have the verb, very simple, it's in the present, so we should use the present. I go to work every day by bus. What are you going to do in the summer? Again, now we're talking in the future with going to, so use going to. I'm going to visit my family in England. Okay, so listen carefully. Number 4 is similar to number 3 actually, and that is to imitate. To copy the speaker. Okay, so when you are watching a film in English, don't be afraid to pause it and imitate, copy what they just said. This will help with pronunciation, this will help with intonation, with rhythm, all of these parts which is very important when you are speaking English. So imitate the pronunciation, imitate the accent, imitate the rhythm. You can do it with this video. Pause it and imitate me. It can be fun as well. Okay, so imitate others. This will really help with your speaking. And finally, number 5, an obvious one, use it or lose it. Okay, you would have heard of practice makes perfect. Well, it's true. Practice, practice, practice. Whether you find a speaking partner, maybe you practice with your friend who is also learning English, but it's not enough to have an English class once a week, twice a week. You need to be using English every day. Okay? If you don't use it for 3 or 4 months, you will lose it. It's like when you go to the gym. If you haven't been to the gym in 4 months, you have to start from 0. Okay? Also, what you can do here is when you learn a new word, a new expression, use it immediately. Try to put it into context and find a friend and try and use it. That's the way we remember and we acquire new vocabulary. So, practice, practice, practice. And there you have it. I hope this helps. These are some ways that you can improve your speaking skills in English. So, don't forget to give this a like, to subscribe to the channel if you are new. You can also follow me on Instagram, where I post daily vocab, other types of tips that will help you with your English. But until next time, see you later.